Well, hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking all about how to fix saggy skin, whether it be saggy skin on your face, like around your eyes or your neck, or maybe on your body, like the arms, the thighs. Are there any creams out there that actually will tighten your skin? There's a huge market for this. I mean, just Google skin tightening creams and you'll get a large volume of stuff to buy. Short answer, no. Long answer, products that contain topical vitamin A, whether it be retinol or prescription retinoic acid like tretinoin, when used consistently over time, you will appreciate a firming effect because retinoic acid or retinol, which is converted to retinoic acid in the skin, can boost up collagen production in the deeper layers of the skin, smoothing out wrinkles and fine lines, and filling up some of that space, resulting in a skin firming effect. And don't expect drastic results. If you have profound saggy skin, say from weight loss or just age-related, really saggy skin, don't hang your hat on retinoic acid turning the corner. It's more for, subtle sagging on the face. For example, you will notice some improvement in firmness with using retinoic acid consistently, but it's not really gonna change things drastically. Worth pursuing. Retinoic acid, of course, has many benefits for the skin, so I'm not dismissing it, but otherwise, I wouldn't get too confident with retinoic acid. And all of the other gimmicky creams out there, just skip. If anything, they're good moisturizers, which is fine. Moisturizing the skin is helpful, but it's not gonna fix sagging skin. And you see, the problem with sagging is deeper in the skin, in the deeper layers in the dermis. And topical products, they don't really get to that level. And so they're really not gonna alter things for you. So if you want to correct saggy skin, you're looking at pursuing procedures, basically. Cosmetic procedures from a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon. And there are a lot of great minimally invasive skin tightening procedures that are being done that can really improve the look of saggy skin. What do I mean by minimally invasive? Well, basically they're not making any cuts in your skin and there's no breach in the skin. With these non-invasive treatments, you have to understand though that the outcome is gradual. It's not like you get the treatment and then boom, all of a sudden everything's tight and firm and it's as though you're 15 years younger overnight. It's not like that at all. It takes some time to see the results. The good thing about these energy-based treatments, which I'll get into, is that they're good for all skin types, whether you have very fair skin or very deep skin tones. There's no risk of like hyperpigmentation with these because the energy is going to be targeted deep down in the skin, not in the area of the skin where you have the pigment cells that could be affected. So that's a plus. The other plus is that there's like virtually no downtime, and it's pretty quick, something you can do over your lunch break. Generally, these procedures last anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour max. And there is like minimal pain, maybe some modest discomfort. To some people, it's not painful at all. To other people, these procedures are uncomfortable, but bottom line, they're nothing that you really need pain medication for or anything like that. Side effects are also pretty minimal. You can maybe have some redness, a little bit of swelling, but honestly, that's pretty minimal and not really something that you have to worry too much about. And you can put makeup on right away after you have these procedures because they're not creating any kind of wounding to the skin. So you're good to have them done and then put your makeup on and you're good to go. So pretty hands off on the part of the person getting the procedure done. You don't have to really do anything. It's important to realize though that the effects of these minimally invasive procedures, you can get good results, but it's not going to be as profound as what you would get with a true facelift procedure. So that would be an invasive procedure where you're actually having excessive skin cut out and pulled back and stitched in place and things like that. This is not going to be as drastic. It's more of a gradual effect. And honestly, I feel as though there's a trend away from facelifts and what And what patients want, they want more of a natural firming look rather than that lift look. And they are leaning more towards these minimally invasive procedures because A, they don't want the downtime that's associated with a facelift, and B, they're just looking for some more subtle rejuvenation. They're not looking for that kind of drastic lift. But of course, a facelift is an option, or a lid lift around your eyelids, blepharoplasty. Those are all wonderful options, but they are more invasive and more involved, and you do have more significant downtime with those procedures. But in getting into the minimally invasive procedures for skin tightening, there are some procedures that can produce moderate tightening. First of all, you have ultrasound therapy, or ULT therapy. This is a great option for tightening up the jowl area or saggy skin around the eyelids. The way ultrasound therapy works is basically high frequency ultrasound energy placed on the surface of the skin targets the deeper layers of the skin and heats up those tissues deep down. And it's the heating up of the tissues that results in actually cellular damage, which sounds kind of scary, like what? But actually that level of cellular damage causes an increase in collagen production, ultimately leading to a firming effect. So this is not, again, something that's going to give you results immediately after. It takes some time to start appreciating that firming effect because it takes some time for the cells to begin making that collagen again. So it's a gradual onset improvement. It requires some patience. You generally can start to see improvement in, I would say, maybe around 3 months. The natural aging process is going to take over, and you of course will begin to lose some of that collagen. So it's not like it's going to cure age-related loss of collagen. It really just boosts things up, but then the natural aging process can take over and you can get sagging skin again. It's expensive, but it's definitely not anywhere near as expensive as a facelift. It's depending on where you live and the provider, it generally runs around $2,000, $2,000. So that's not cheap, but much less than a facelift. I think this is a really nice option for tightening up the skin under the neck. This is an area where a lot of people notice a lot of age-related change with saggy skin. Some people refer to it as like turkey neck. And what ends up happening is that you lose a lot of jaw definition with that type of aging. And so this procedure really not only tightens that up, but it can really kind of define your jawline and rejuvenate the look of your face just by lifting that up and firming that. It's subtle and gradual in onset, but it definitely can really rejuvenate the look of the face as well as the neck. A similar type of treatment is radiofrequency. Like ultrasound therapy, radiofrequency delivers, in this case, radiofrequency energy to those deeper layers of the skin, heating up that tissue and causing cellular damage that ultimately leads to increase in collagen and elastin production and a gradual onset of a firming effect. You also can appreciate some smoothing out of wrinkles and fine lines with either of these procedures in the treated area. And radiofrequency is also a really good option, not only in the realm of skin tightening, but it also can improve the look of stretch marks and cellulite, dimpling of the skin. Radiofrequency is a really good option for areas like the abdomen, the thighs, the arms, if you have, kind of some loose skin on the upper arms. With radiofrequency, you tend to see the best results after 6 months. You likely will need multiple sessions of the radiofrequency to achieve the maximal kind of benefit. And a lot of that is also going to depend on the degree of sagging and the degree of overall photo damage. People with really photo damaged skin, a lot of sagging and discoloration and things like that. I mean, a lot of collagen destruction from cumulative lifetime exposure to UV. They're gonna need more, but maybe you have some more subtle sagging that you're looking to improve. You may be able to get away with fewer sessions. And then laser treatments are also a minimally invasive option for producing moderate skin tightening. So many types of lasers can heat up those deeper layers of the skin, those deeper tissues, and produce a skin firming effect by boosting up collagen, again, gradual in onset. Like ultrasound and radio frequency, with laser treatments, there's no destruction of the top layers of the skin, so you don't have to worry about things like hyperpigmentation or anything like that. So it's a really nice option. Another procedure that is not really a go-to per se for skin tightening, but you definitely can appreciate a skin tightening effect with it, and it's minimally invasive, is cryolipolysis. This goes by the name cool sculpting, and it produces modest improvement in the look of like cellulite, sagging skin on the thighs, the abdomen, by cooling the deeper layers as opposed to heating them, and resulting in death of those fat cells. And you ultimately get a kind of a tightening effect in those areas. Depending on where you're getting the procedure, this might be a nice option for you, because maybe you're looking more to reduce some of those kind of fatty, bulgy, dimply type saggy areas and get a firming effect as well. But it definitely can result in the skin tightening effect. And then lastly, a minimally invasive procedure that may be a good choice depending on the degree of sagging and the location, of course, is having filler placed in those areas to kind of add volume where volume has been lost. Of course, filler is not permanent, but it lasts a good long while and can, boost up the deeper layers of the skin just by occupying space and smooth out the surface of the skin as a result of that extra, adding volume essentially. So those are minimally invasive cosmetic procedures for moderate skin tightening. What about a more intensive skin tightening? You can get more intense by getting a little more invasive. So there's fractional radio frequency devices which actually deliver the thermal energy to the deeper layers of the skin via electrodes or micro needles. This requires a little bit of anesthesia and there's a little bit more downtime, but shown here you can see panel A and B is the before and C and D after. About 37% laxity improvement can be observed with this type of treatment, and as shown here, you can really get some good rejuvenation of the lower face and neck with just one treatment as shown here. And basically what it allows for is that radio frequency to be targeted more specifically and in a more focused fashion. With this type of radio frequency treatment, you're going to see results a lot faster than just regular radio frequency skin tightening, but you're going to have more downtime associated with it. And then a more invasive procedure for skin tightening that's going to yield a more drastic, probably one of the most drastic outcomes, is laser resurfacing. This has the ability to not only tighten up the treated area, but it's also going to improve wrinkles and fine lines. It will help in removing some sunspots, areas of sun damage, hyperpigmentation. Laser resurfacing really does get you a lot of different results kind of all in one, and is a nice option for skin tightening, but it comes with more downtime. Typically 5 to 7 days of downtime with laser resurfacing, but for many that is not too bad. I already mentioned at the beginning of the video one of the more invasive kind of drastic procedures, if you will, not drastic, but one that's going to be more notable is obviously getting a facelift. A surgical facelift, you have to undergo anesthesia. They're actually removing skin. There's a lot of downtime. You can do it around your eyelids, like a lid lift. But there is a procedure that has really become popular over the past few years, actually. It's called a thread lift, and this has been around since the 90s. Basically what it is they take what's called a barbed suture. That a suture is like what goes into making stitches. If you cut yourself and you get stitches, or you have surgery, they use suture to close the wound. This type of suture that is put deep down has these like little barbs on it. And basically how the procedure works is they put this suture in the deeper layers of the skin. The barbs kind of grab onto some of the tissue and it kind of pulls things up. And then with time, that suture slowly dissolves. As I said, this procedure has been around since like the 90s, but it wasn't so favored as it is now. Back then, there were some issues with like the suture and people were just on the fence about doing it. But innovations in the suture material has really made this a more popular procedure as of lately, and it's something that a lot of plastic surgeons are doing more and more lately. So that's definitely something that you might consider. It's not as extreme as a facelift. With the thread lift, there's not going to be any removal of your actual skin tissue, because really what they're just doing is tacking things up with that suture under the skin. So it's not actually removing tissue, which is less downtime, less healing. And the other nice thing about the thread lift, as opposed to a facelift, is that you don't undergo any sedation. A lot of people aren't good candidates for that because of their background medical issues or whatever. This is a nice option. You don't have to undergo sedation. It's just local anesthesia to the area. And so there's less healing overall, less downtime than a traditional facelift procedure. Yeah, that's what I can tell you guys about skin tightening. Sorry, I can't promise any miracle cures here. These procedures though, they deliver some really nice results, but they are costly. It's definitely an investment, but we have, over the past decade or so, new technologies have been developed in the realm of skin tightening and body contouring. So we're really able to get some nice results for patients seeking skin tightening and cosmetic rejuvenation, body contouring. We're really able to get some nice results for these patients with minimal downtime and not having to undergo something as invasive as frank surgery. As usual, don't waste your money on a bunch of gimmicky creams and stuff. And of course, there's always topical retinoids. They, can boost up collagen production in the deeper layers of the skin. Don't expect a miracle with these things, but they can help, especially on like the face with just some age-related subtle sagging. I think that's really where retinoids do the most and help the most. Profound sagging, jowls, retinoids aren't going to lift that up. You really want to focus your efforts more on these minimally invasive procedures, or go for something as invasive as a facelift if you've got some profound facial sagging. So that's what I can tell you guys about reducing sagging skin. I hope this vid was helpful to you guys, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.